In the quiet village of Oru, where red earth met golden sun, lived a woman named Mama Sade. She was known for her sweet smile, her calm voice, and her delicious bread. Every morning, the smell of her baking floated through the village like a song, soft and warm, calling even the birds to her window. People said her bread tasted like happiness. But no one knew what she whispered into the dough before she baked it. Mama Sade had lost her husband many years ago in a fire that burned their old home to ashes. She built a new house at the edge of the forest, far from everyone else. Her oven was made of smooth clay, shaped by her own hands. The fire inside never went out. Day or night, it glowed like a living thing. Children said they saw shadows dancing behind her house at night, but no one was brave enough to look closer. Every market day, Mama Sade carried her basket to the village square. People rushed to buy her bread before it was gone. It was soft, golden, and full of something that made their hearts feel light. But slowly, strange things began to happen. The baker from the next village disappeared. Then the old storyteller, who had eaten Mama Sade's bread the day before, was never seen again. The villagers whispered, but no one dared to accuse her. One day, a little girl named Ife noticed something strange. Her mother bought a loaf from Mama Sade and placed it on the table. But when Ife broke a piece, a drop of red stained her hand. She stared. It looked like blood. Her mother laughed nervously and said it was just palm oil. But Ife was not so sure. That night, she dreamed of a woman made of smoke, smiling with Mama Sade's face. The next morning, Ife told her friend, Connor, what she saw in her dream. Connor was brave, though sometimes foolish. He said they should go to Mama Sade's house and see what she was hiding. Ife hesitated. The forest behind Mama Sada's house was dark, and everyone said it was cursed. But curiosity burned in her heart like a small fire that refused to die. That evening, when the sun began to sink and the sky turned orange, Ife and Connor sneaked toward the edge of the village. They followed the smell of baking bread and reached Mama Sada's house. Smoke curled from her oven, but it was not like normal smoke. It shimmered like the colors of the rainbow, twisting and whispering in strange patterns. Ife grabbed Connor's arm. Listen, she whispered. It sounded like voices crying inside the wind. Mama Sade was not inside the house. The door stood open, and the oven glowed red. On the table were loaves of bread, all perfectly round, but each one had a mark on top, a small circle with 3 lines. Ife touched one gently. It was warm, almost like skin. Connor looked around and saw a basket covered with a cloth. He lifted it, and a wave of cold air brushed his face. Inside were ashes, soft grey ashes, but mixed with something white, like bone. Ife gasped. They dropped the basket and ran. But as they turned, Mama Sade stood at the doorway, her eyes shining in the dim light. Her voice was soft and kind, but it made the air tremble. Children, she said, you should not play near my oven. Her smile was wide, too wide, and her hands were covered in flour, or maybe it wasn't flour at all. Connor tried to speak, but no words came out. Mama Sade walked closer, her step slow and heavy. Do you like my bread? She asked. Ife nodded quickly, her heart pounding. Then take some, Mama Sade said, handing them a warm loaf. It will keep you safe. Her voice cracked like firewood. Ife took it with shaking hands and ran with Connor until they reached the path back to the village. When they looked back, Mama Sade was still standing there, watching them from the shadows. That night, Ife couldn't sleep. The loaf sat on her table, untouched. It smelled sweet, but every time she looked at it, she thought she saw something move beneath the crust, a tiny heartbeat, faint and fast. She threw a cloth over it, but still she could feel it pulsing, like it was alive. When she finally drifted to sleep, she dreamed of fire again, fire and faces screaming inside it. The next morning, Connor didn't come to play. His mother said he was sick. Ife went to visit him, but when she reached his hut, she froze. The smell of bread filled the air. Connor lay on his mat, pale and sweating. His mother said he had eaten the loaf Mama Sade gave them. Now he was whispering strange words in his sleep, words that sounded like crying and laughter at once. Ife backed away, terrified. By sunset, Connor was gone. His mother said he simply vanished, his bed empty, his window open, and a trail of grey dust on the floor. The village was in panic. People blamed witches, spirits, and bad luck. But Ife knew. She felt it deep inside, the answer was in Mama Sade's oven. That night, rain fell hard. Ife put on her shawl and walked to Mama Sade's house alone. She was scared, but something stronger than fear guided her steps. When she reached the door, she saw Mama Sade kneeling by the oven, her face glowing in the firelight. She was talking softly to the flames. Ife hid behind a tree and listened. "My children," Mama Sade whispered, "thank you for keeping me warm." The flames answered her. Ife heard voices, faint and echoing, calling her name now. Ife! Ife, her heart raced. She wanted to run, but her legs refused. The oven door opened, and she saw faces of the missing people, their eyes glowing like embers, their mouths moving in silent screams. Mama Sade smiled as if she were proud of them. "They will feed the village," she said softly. "They always do." Ife gasped, and Mama Sade turned sharply. Their eyes met. The rain hissed on the roof as the old woman stood and whispered, "Come inside, my dear. You look cold." The wind blew out Ife's lantern. The world went dark except for the red light of the fire. She stepped back, her heart thumping louder than the thunder. But Mama Sade began to sing, a slow, sad song that wrapped around Ife like a spell. Her voice was soft, full of longing and sorrow. For a moment, Ife saw her not as a monster, but as a lonely woman who had lost everything. She wondered if Mama Sade truly wanted to hurt people, or if the oven itself had taken her so long ago. The song ended. The fire cracked. And Mama Sade whispered, "Now, you know my secret."